No labels, no hype, just a pour and a swipe. Let's get started. Four, right? Starward Solera is a keeper. I was 2 for 4 inside of my blind guesses. Go to GolfCask.com or YouTube to watch the full review. Cheers, my friend. As you can see, I got 50% of my guesses right on the blinds. I've got the grain and I got the proof. Proof was in the 80s, grain was malt, and you get tons of malt on the nose. As soon as I get this much malt and fruit, I think Scotch, so I went Scotland. It was actually Australia. An age statement said an average of 3 years because it is a Solera process, which means that they never, as they put the distillate in the barrels to age and they go to pull out of the barrels, they leave some of the distillant in the barrels and then pour on top of that. So even though it says it has a 3-year age statement, it actually will have components of much older whiskey inside the barrel because it's always reused. And that's where the color kind of got me, and I got the age wrong. I went a little bit older on the sheer fact that I thought because of that coloring that it was probably with the malt, it was going to be a much older whiskey, 4 to 7, maybe even pushing 8, 9 years. And again, that's the Solera process. And it was also aged in a sherry cask. So that sherry cask is going to give you some of that. Oh, I'm sorry, they don't do sherry, they do apera, which is basic Australian sherry. So again, it gives you a little bit of that darker flavor. So I was tricked. But again, 50% on a blind taste, and I'm pretty happy with that. So let's go through and talk a little bit about Starward. This was a company based in Melbourne. They started kind of mid to late 2000s. And they bring a fresh perspective. They're really into wines and that Scotch tradition, so you see them merge quite often. Yeah, I really enjoyed this malt. So let's dive through here and look at our tasting notes and kind of rank it. And I hope you can go out and find Starward yourself. Let's go through our tasting notes real quick. So on color, we got a darker amber, right? Nose, nice. I'm getting lots of fruit. I'm getting lots of malt. Why I thought of Scotch, and I am getting some of that sweetness. Caramely sweet, I kind of like it. Not your traditional honey sweet from a Scotch per se, but maybe a little bit more of a caramel sweet, but definitely malt ridden. And I can get the sherry influence now that I know it's sherry touched. Taste wise, let's see. Very malty, a little bit of spice to it, which is kind of cool. And I get the flavor of figs, which I absolutely love. And definitely getting those sherry notes. And as you can see, our legs here, it's got a little bit of body to the whiskey as well. Very nice. Let's focus in on the finish. Medium long. Now we'll go long. It's hanging around. Getting a little bit of warming, a little bit of spice, and I'm definitely getting a little oak kind of hanging out in the background. Still hanging around. I like that as well. So the finish, I would go long, warming, and oak. So overall, on the nose, we're gonna call it a 3.5 out of 5. The taste, 3.5 out of 5. Finish, why not? 3.5 out of 5. So overall ranking, 3.5 out of 5. And if I was gonna use a 3-word descriptor, how to sum this up, we're gonna call it Sherry Kissed Aussie. So we have a slight sherry influence over this wonderful Australian single malt. Cheers, cilantro, Starward. If you can find it, give it a shot. Till next time. Life is good.